Because a Kamala Harris convention, a campaign event, actually has meaning. Like, these people are there because they want to hear Kamala Harris speak. They want to hear Tim Walz speak because they give them hope, because they make them feel good, because it's a super positive effect that they're having on the voter base. It's not because he's going to sit there and tell you about how windmills cause cancer. Or talk to people about how Hannibal Lecter was a great dude. He's coming across the border. Like, a Walz-Harris campaign event is something that people look forward to. A Donald Trump campaign event is something that people look forward to leaving. It's really funny to think about the fact that Kamala still lives so deep in Donald Trump's brain that he is probably watching his crowds now, and like somebody gets up to go pee and he's like, "Where are you going? Sit back down. No one leaves my rallies." At what point do they start locking the doors so that way people can't leave? That's the real question. Anyways, this is a video from Donald Trump. Well, it's from Brian Tyler Cohen on Donald Trump getting upset about people leaving his venues.
I want to explain something. The people that you see leaving, because nobody ever leaves. And when they do, I finish up quick, believe me.
Wait, what? Hold on. I need that one more time. I need him to give that to me one more time.
I want to explain something. The people that you see leaving, because nobody ever leaves. And when they do, I finish up quick, believe me.
How does that make any sense in like a positive manner? Okay, somebody Trump-splain that for me. Somebody Trump-splain me how people don't ever leave, but they do leave, but when they do leave, he finishes up quick. Somebody Trump-splain that one to me. Like, I know his followers are mind-bogglingly stupid, but even like a complete fucking imbecile would go, "Wait a minute, that don't make sense." Okay, we'll play it one more time because like I'm gonna need that in my head. I don't understand how.
I want to explain something. The people that you see leaving, because nobody ever leaves. And when they do, I finish up quick, believe me. But I couldn't take pictures at the beginning. So I take them at the end sometimes. If I'm late, the plane gets late, you get delayed, lots of things happen. There's a little hurricane going on in Florida, as you know. And so what they do is they say, "Oh, please come up now at the end of my speech." I said, "Don't do..."
What is... How? Where? Why? What? Who? What the fuck? What did he just say? God, I need like a Google Trump explainer. Dude, look at the ads on this. Get your contagion emergency kit today and be prepared. Ivermectin. Are there people out there just like seriously buying like ivermectin kits now? What is going on in MAGA? Oh, dude, I kind of want to go undercover. I know I might get too deep in it, but dude, like, it has to be a fucking crazy thing to live in the MAGA world right now. All right, we're gonna try one more time because I do not understand what he just
at
said.
The beginning. So I take them at the end sometimes. If I'm late, the plane gets late, you get delayed, lots of things happen. There's a little hurricane going on in Florida, as you know. And
a little one?
So what they do is they say, "Oh, please come up now at the end of my speech." I said, "Don't do that, because it looks like they're leaving, like your husband who owns this place."
That incomprehensible
what?
word salad was Donald Trump trying to explain away the fact that people were leaving his rally today in Michigan. And so to give himself some cover here, he spewed out a bunch of random words that I must have listened to at least 6 times in an effort to find some coherent through line, but
Yeah,
couldn't.
thank you, BTC.
Ultimately, what I
fucking imaginary high five, BTC. Dude, me and BTC on the same page. I like it when the big guys like Brian Tyler Cohen and like David Pakman, Destiny, they like say the stuff I say. I'm like, yeah, you stole that from me. I know that I said this after he made the video, and he already said that. So the most likely thing that happened was that I would have stolen it from him. But you guys saw me pick this video randomly, okay? You guys saw that shit, okay? I didn't pick it, all right? Did not pre-watch, all right? So I know it makes no sense at all. But if Trump can do it, I can do it, okay? BTC totally stole my thoughts. He was in my head. He stole my thoughts.
Michigan. And so to give himself some cover here, he spewed out a bunch of random words that I must have listened to at least 6 times in an effort to find some coherent through line, but couldn't. Ultimately, what I assume he wanted to say was that somehow the people who he was referencing having left his rallies weren't actually leaving. Only, small problem, there is video footage of exactly that. Take a look at this clip and pay particularly close attention to the sound of Donald Trump's voice on the loudspeaker while these folks are exiting out of the building.
That's right, Lions fan. Get out of there, Lions fan.
Although I assume that Donald Trump's response to this video evidence would be, quite simply, not to believe our lying
Fake
eyes.
news.
And let's be clear, this isn't even close to the only time this has happened. In fact, it's happening with more and more frequency now. Just a few days ago, this is what happened at his rally in New York.
Think of what our nation would be with no Russia-Ukraine war,
Oh,
no
dude.
October 7th disaster in Israel and the Middle East.
So now, usually, I'll be honest with you guys, when I see these pictures, I'm always like, all right, guys, are we being honest about this? Because, you know, a lot of people, they take pictures before the rally, or they take pictures, you know, like of somebody that's not Trump or something like that. So we all know in the media there is some dishonesty. And getting clicks is, for most people, more important than being honest. But you can obviously tell that Donald Trump is giving a speech right now, and that is a lot of empty seats, guys. That's kind of undeniable as far as evidence goes, that it seems as though Donald Trump is telling you all he's really super goddamn popular, and yet he can't feel what looks to be a pretty small stadium.
This isn't even close to the only time this has happened. In fact, it's happening with more and more frequency now. Just a few days ago, this is what happened at his rally in New York.
Think of what our nation would be with no Russia-Ukraine war. No
There's more
October
people there
7th
when the Lions
disaster
sucked.
in Israel and the Middle East. It was
That's a good one,
inflamed right now. It's inflamed like nobody's seen it for 50 years. No inflation and energy dominance. That's
Dude.
what we have, energy dominance.
Now, and if you're a semi-logical human being, you can understand why people would leave. Because, like, imagine sitting there as this guy just, like, rambles about, like, the same weird shit you've been hearing him ramble about for the longest time. Like, I'm sure a lot of people that are Trump supporters probably really actually look forward to these events. They see clips of Trump, they don't watch him speak, they don't really know Trump, right? Like they're like, dude, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be like a fucking rock show. It's gonna be incredible. You see all these weird people that show up and stuff. You get excited. And then you show up and he's just up there like low T energy, droning on about the same dumb shit you've heard him drone on about before. I can see why, like, some of these people who are Trump supporters are probably like, they probably make excuses. They probably say, like, oh, he had a bad day, or, like, oh, you know, like, he's exhausted. He's been on the road for so long. So they're probably still voting Trump. I don't doubt that a lot of the people that are leaving still voting Trump. But you can also understand why the hell, like, yeah, I would, if I went to a Kamala Harris speech and this is what it was like, and it wasn't like, there was no pageantry, it wasn't like high energy, it wasn't like fun, I would leave that too. Because I wouldn't be like, oh, dude, this is like, Jesus Christ, are we just going to sit here and drone on? Yeah, no. It just makes sense.
Inflation and energy dominance. That's what we have, energy dominance. We have no inflation. We wouldn't have either. The
It's
Middle East and
AI.
Russia.
Exactly ours,
What a
wife.
difference
It's AI.
Oh, we can't let them cheat on elections anymore. We will rebuild our cities, including Washington, D.C., making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. Right now, we have a capital that when you go down there,
This shit's giving me vertigo.
chance of
Please
being
stop.
hurt by
Please stop,
us.
sir. You're giving me
And
vertigo.
we will keep the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency. We're losing that now.
He's like, that wasn't me. That's AI
And
Trump.
the amazing thing about this is that
This
while
is
it
the
would normally
halftime show.
not be an issue, Trump makes it an issue because he's just that insecure about crowd size. Honestly, no one would usually give a shit if people leave a rally early, but Trump has proven that it's really all he cares about. And so as a result, Kamala Harris was able to harness that insecurity to show just how weak-willed and impulsive Donald Trump is.
He's going to talk about immigration a lot tonight, even when it's not the subject that is being raised. And I'm going to actually
Dude,
do
this is
something
the
really
best.
unusual, and I'm going to
God,
invite
this
you
is the best.
to attend one of Donald Trump's rallies, because it's a really interesting thing to watch. You will see during the course of his rallies, he talks about fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter. He will talk about windmills cause cancer.
God, she roasted him
And what you
so
will also
hard.
notice is that people start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion
He's like,
and boredom.
This
And
is
I will
it.
tell you, the one thing you will not hear him talk about is you.
Harris, thank you. President Trump, on that point, I want to get your response.
Well, I would like to respond.
Let me just ask, though, why did you try to kill that bill and successfully?
This is the bet. You know the best part about this is the thing she literally pointed out that he wanted to talk about the most. Like, this isn't like some random thing, like, you know, as an abortion or, you know, something that he wants to avoid. The immigration topic is the 100% thing that he wants to talk about the most. And she triggered his ass so goddamn hard that he was like, I don't even want to talk about the border. I want to talk about what she just said. It was fucking brilliant. Brilliant.
Of exhaustion and boredom. And I will tell you, the one thing you will not hear him talk about is you.
Harris, thank you. President Trump, on that point, I want to get your response.
Well, I would like to respond.
Let me just ask, though, why did you try to kill that bill, and successfully so? That would have put thousands of additional agents and officers on the border.
First, let me respond as to the
Please.
rallies. She said people start leaving. People don't go to her rallies. There's no reason to go. And the people that do go, she's bussing them in and paying them to be there. And then showing them in a different light. So she can't talk about that. People don't leave my rallies. We have the biggest rallies, the most incredible rallies in the history of politics. That's because people want to take their country back. Our country is being lost. We're a failing nation. And it happened 3.5 years ago. And what's going on here, you're going to end up in World War III, just to go into another subject. What they have done to our country by allowing these millions.
Dude, you guys notice that him and Roseanne, like, the speech patterns is the same. It's conspiracy theorists, dude. Every person that you talk to that talks about all this stuff talks the exact same. They're like literal bots. They're sheep. And even the dude who's supposed to be the shepherd is one of the sheep. It's so crazy.
What's going on here, you're going to end up in World War III, just to go into another subject. What they have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame. As far as the rallies are concerned, as far as the reason they go is they like what I say. They want to bring our country back. They want to make America great again. It's a very simple phrase, make America great again. She's destroying this country, and if she becomes president, this country doesn't have a chance of success. Not only success, we'll end up being Venezuela on steroids.
Think about what you just saw for a second. Trump is so easy to read, so easy to manipulate, that all Kamala Harris had to do was tell this grown-ass man that his rallies were boring, and the guy running to control the nuclear arsenal in this country melted down like an ice cream sundae in the Arizona sun in July. If Trump is that easy to manipulate on a debate stage in front of 75 million people, presumably with plenty of practice leading up to this event, imagine how easy he is to manipulate behind closed doors when he's sitting.
Yeah, behind closed doors is bad enough, but imagine how easy he is to manipulate from somebody like Putin. Putin, who, like, one of the craziest things that Trump supporters believe is that Putin is scared of Donald Trump. Putin is one of the few 100% legit gangsters out there. Like, I don't support a goddamn thing that Putin does. But if you think that Donald Trump scares Vladimir Putin, you're an idiot. You could possibly be the dumbest human being on earth if you think that a guy that is ex-KGB, a dude that has had multiple people killed, a dude that literally his political opponents fall out of windows and drink poison tea, is sitting across from Donald Trump, the fucking reality TV show guy that said, "You fired." That's what he's known for. If you think that guy scares Vladimir Putin, you're a moron. Dude, he's not just being manipulated by the people behind the scenes like Mark Meadows or William Barr or Eastman or Chesbro or whatever dipshit that he runs into on the street. He's also being manipulated by people that are scary as fuck, like Kim Jong-un, Vladimir Putin, and Xi Jinping. Jesus Christ, people are dumb.
Imagine how easy he is to manipulate behind closed doors when he's sitting face to face with the world's autocrats and dictators who are much, much smarter than he is. If you are wondering why it seems like Trump is already a useful idiot for someone like Vladimir Putin, already doing his bidding,
Thanks,
now you can
BTC.
understand
Once
why.
again,
You
stole
don't
my
have to be
stuff.
the world's
It's
biggest
fine.
genius to
It's
manipulate Donald. You just have to have the strategy of an 8th grader and you can accomplish your goal. And look, while I'd love to spend this
Fucking
entire
real.
video exposing just how sensitive Donald is over his precious rallies and how sad he gets when people inevitably leave because there is only so many times human beings can listen to someone lament the death of a make-believe cannibal or whine about the water pressure in his
literally what I
shower,
was saying.
I figure that while I have you and knowing that the economy is one of the top issues of this campaign, let's take a quick moment to compare both of these candidates. Kamala Harris's economic plan will be the best thing to ever happen to the middle class and working class in this country. $25,000 for first-time homebuyers, with 3 million new housing units expected to be built, which will bring the
Up to
cost of
5 million,
all rent
yep.
down. Legislation to stop predatory investors who buy up rental homes and collude with each other from raising rental prices.
Yep.
A national ban on price gouging for food, and giving the FTC the authority to
Yep.
go after the companies who do it. A $50,000 tax break for new
Which, by the way, is not price controls. Once again, I hate that the left glommed onto that. So we just watched Roseanne Barr say some of the most insane things you'll ever hear, and yet the left-wing media will not say a goddamn word about that. Kamala Harris comes out and talks about a national price gouging ban, which is already in something like, I think it's 43 states in America already have price gouging bans. It's just that you would put it on a federal level. Never said once says the words price controls. And the fucking left-wing media takes price controls and prints it front page of every goddamn newspaper. She said price controls. Not once does Kamala Harris talk about price controls. Fucking drives me nuts. Makes me so goddamn mad.
national ban on price gouging for food, and giving the FTC the authority to go after the companies who do it, a $50,000 tax break for new small businesses, and a goal of 25 million new small business applications in the first 2 years of her term, $6,000 in tax credits for newborns, and a restoration of the Democrats' $3,600 tax credit for middle and low-class families, all the while not raising taxes on any household earning $400,000 or less. It would be the best elements of the Biden administration, which has already led to the U.S. to the strongest economy in the world, a record high stock market, and record job growth, while adding even more policies to help the middle class. Meanwhile, Trump's economic plan? To slap tariffs as high as 200% on every product entering the United States. And guess who pays the increased costs? American consumers. Meaning his economic plan is a promise to pay more for nearly everything you buy. This after years of Republicans wailing about high prices, now they're going to help promote the candidacy of someone who will ensure that all of those prices will skyrocket, all because he doesn't understand how tariffs work. Is that a risk that you're willing to take with your bank account? So look, whether it's an issue of the threat Trump poses to our national security because of how easily he can be manipulated, how bad he'll be on the economy because he doesn't understand how it works, or simply how hostile he is to the very concept of democracy, it is our job to ensure that he never gets near the levers of power in this country again.
And Donald Trump, look, this is what people should be concerned about. Donald Trump, it gets so upset over a person on a debate stage telling him that his crowd sizes are smaller, that people leave his rallies early. He gets so upset that A month later, he's still talking about it. He's still getting super angry and worrying about whether or not people are leaving his rally. He's talking to the people that are leaving. He's explaining why they're going. No, I'll end my rally early if people leave. That is not who you want sitting across from Vladimir Putin. That's not who you want sitting across from Xi Jinping. It's not who you want dealing with the potential reality of a World War III. It's the last person that you would ever want to deal with those things. Donald Trump is not fit to be the president of the United States of America, and he proves it every day.
He is to the very concept of democracy, it is our job to ensure that he never gets near the levers of power in this country again. And finally, just for posterity here, I'll leave you with this image of Kamala Harris's rally, because unlike Donald Trump's mini rallies where he drones on about how he's God's gift to the world, this is what excitement actually looks like.
So Arizona, bring that joy with you, bring those smiles, bring that positive future as you join me in welcoming the next President of the United States, Kamala Harris.
Because a Kamala Harris convention, a campaign event, actually has meaning. Like, these people are there because they want to hear Kamala Harris speak. They want to hear Tim Walz speak because they give them hope, because they make them feel good, because it's a super positive effect that they're having on the voter base. It's not because he's going to sit up there and tell you about how windmills cause cancer. Or talk to people about how Hannibal Lecter was a great dude. He's coming across the border. Like, a Walz-Harris campaign event is something that people look forward to. A Donald Trump campaign event is something that people look forward to leaving.